is how I smoke. But that's what's so cool about weed is that it's such a spiritual thing. Is that like everybody has their rituals, and I think that is half the high. And I try to tell people when I sell weed is that I try to sell people on an experience and a story when they're buying it, and like give them a background of it so they get a feeling. So when they go home, they get a feeling, they get high. So like it's if you give them a feeling before that, it's like you have a customer or like a member or like a fan of whatever you do for life. Flipped off everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
he blurred the line between heel and babyface. It was like, what the fuck does this even mean anymore?
So you know what's funny? We were talking about that Dame
pod. We're talking about fucking wrestling, by the way. Yeah. You can hear anything on this pod.
Well, we were talking about that Dame Dash thing earlier. I think that's what I was saying. Where I feel like what he was doing and like what Kanye does a lot, and like wrestling is they try to like be the villain
without a
they
doubt.
like do it on purpose to get eyeballs. It's all
without a doubt. I don't think it's all an act though. Like with him,
I think it's probably easy. It's probably easier
with Dame Dash.
Yeah, I think he's really like that. Fucking asshole.
He's just an asshole.
Yeah, so is Kanye. They're just being extra with it.
So who's gonna do that in the weed world? Who's gonna like be the villain and just like be all about it? You guys
there's
are
a
talking
lot
about
of
the
them.
spray. What if someone came out with the spray
Don't
turf
ask me
bag?
that.
It's just like,
I
I sell
this one
spray
the fuck
turfs
out.
and we're all about it. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's definitely people out here selling spray packs. That's for sure, and they're not calling it spray packs. They're standing on it.
Jada
Just
thumbs down for the spray packs.
So you guys tell me what a spray pack is.
It's just weed sprayed with terpenes.
Yeah. So
But
that
I hear about different. I heard different versions.
Yeah, so that's what I want to. I kind of want to like do a deep dive. Do a deep dive into what a spray pack actually is, and maybe we can define it on our show. By the way,
it's pretty straightforward, man.
Stage One podcast, Stoop to Store, Legacy to Legal. We got my man Paulie from Breakfast Connections on. Everybody.
It's a pleasure to be here,
we
gentlemen.
Vibing hard with Paulie.
Paulie's
a great guest.
You guys
already.
are cool, man. You guys
Paulie's
are really cool.
got his own podcast as well. Check
gonna
out
pop up on that.
his pod. What's your pod called, Paulie?
Breakfast Connections podcast
There
on
it is.
Instagram. It's Breakfast Connections NY. YouTube, just Breakfast Connections.
It's a man who knows
Yeah.
about branding. He's got a brand that he's brought to New York State Cannabis called what?
Breakfast Connections.
You know what I'm saying? We do the same shit. Stage One dispensary, Stage One podcast. We understand branding. Paulie understands branding. It's great to have him here. So we're talking about spray packs like we do, because that is a topic, a hot topic of conversation on this pod. And we're just talking to Paulie about what he's like. Well, what is a spray pack? And that's a really interesting question, because we talk about it often, but I don't think we've ever like laid out specifically what it means to be a spray pack. It's terpene infused, but how? In which way? Is it directly sprayed onto flower? Terpene sprayed onto flower. That is it. Distillate soaked flower, or joints rolled in distillate and keef. Does the distillate have to have terpenes in it for it to be a spray pack, or can distillate be a spray pack?
Of course.
Can you fucking put terpenes on like a paper towel and throw that shit in when you cure it, and then infuse the bud like that? Is that
Yes.
considered a spray pack?
Yes to all these.
Yes to all of them. So these are all spray packs.
To me, spray pack seems like a street term.
It is.
For a SKU, right? Or like a line of products that I guess people want.
Yeah.
And I just had someone on my podcast tell me all about it from like a street. And the thing that surprised me about that is that people want it.
People want it.
Because I just come from a business sales thing, and I've never sprayed packs before. The only thing that I've ever
That shit is
learned,
foreign to me, man.
the only thing I've ever heard about that type of technique was allegedly when I was in Humboldt County years back, and people would buy like hundreds of pounds, right? And they would have like older outdoors in Humboldt. They would get terps, and they would put a dab of it in a turkey bag in the corner of it. And so when someone was coming to buy 100 pounds, we were trying to sell them on just like, is it look good? Is it at the number? And does it smell good?
Yeah.
So like it would, like when you open the bag, you only look at a couple pounds for your 100 pack, And if it smelled good, that's like was the sales pitch. So all I thought in my head from doing sales was like, it's got to be a thing to sell something that is at less value for more, right? And then when I had these kids on, they were telling me that it's a luxury item. And that just blew me away.
I mean, that's sales, though, isn't it? That's just sales. That's taking the functionality of what the actual original purpose is, which is exactly what you're saying.
Right.
So, which is taking a subpar product and throwing something in there to make it seem better than
creating
it is.
more value for something artificially.
Right. It's funny, Scott, I was stumbled upon or Josiah was like just on YouTube Shorts, and he got a recommended clip, and it was our first conversation about spray packs, and I was listening to it in the background, and you were talking about like how you were like adamant. You were like, if you're smoking spray packs, you're smoking some bullshit, and you were like, that's what it is. It's bullshit, just sprayed with terps to make it seem better. It's fucking garbage. So, and I feel like we've learned. I've learned a lot more about it. I think you already knew, but it's like that's what we're standing on, right? It's just like
I'm standing on
it.
I can't be.
Spray
I can't waver
is a subpar
from that. Like,
product, is what you're saying.
Right. Anything. Besides maybe and I don't even like distillate cartridges. Anything you're enhancing with, secondhand terpenes, like, you know what I mean, like that aren't natural and from the plant.
But distillate
bullshit
isn't
to me.
terpenes.
Well, no, you add the terps to
you
it.
add the terps
That's
to
what I'm saying.
distillate,
Like,
yeah.
We used to
that's
call
the
distillate crude oil.
That's like the
You've heard that term
only
before?
exception I make for
crude,
it. Like,
but
terping
but
things
distillate
up.
is like like crude is like prior to it being all the way whittled down to straight up disty, which is like the crude is like right before that, and then you take out and all these extra. There's like mad steps to making distillate. It's shit is crazy. It's like that these fucking chemistry gurus that do a good job at it, and they get it down to nothing but
I know some fucking
THCA,
whoops that do
like,
it.
that's it.
Yeah. Dude,
You know some.
remember when the hash came out in like 2000, like when hash was really popping, like 2011, 2012. And I remember talking because I've always been like a flower guy. That's why like we do those
me too,
blunts.
man. All
we
day.
just try to put like good affordable flower in something that burns nice. Like that's what that blunt is. That's like simple as that's what I smoke.
So this is the train wreck.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Not terped.
Not terp.
Exactly.
Just straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these like blunt cones.
It's a custom cone, hemp cone. I was showing you guys, like, because I'm from Connecticut, and we have the Dutch Masters and those Connecticut shade leaves, and I love blunts. And I was just going to start doing pre-rolls and joints just because I was just getting into the market blind in New York, literally just trying to sell weed legally. And then I just literally came across those. And I was like, I don't fucking know about those things. And I smoked them, and they're good.
I came across a couple hemp blunts I've liked recently.
They're good.
And I smoked Dutches for like a long fucking time. I'm gonna say from age like 13 to like
Allegedly.
25.
Allegedly.
Yeah. To like well over 10 years, I smoked nothing but Dutches.
Yeah.
And I can't smoke them no more. I just can't. They
Just, like, hurt
fuck
you?
with my lungs. But a couple of the hemp blunts I smoked recently, like might as well have been a paper. It was very smooth, not harsh at all, and big fan.
And add a good flavor to it too.
Yeah, that's another thing though. I'm so bougie with my flower.
It's the weed that's in it. I think that it's just like because we put outdoors in it. I'm not trying to hide anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
know what I mean?
I want to taste every bit of my weed because I'm like I'm very picky with my flower, so it's like I want to taste every bit of that. So that's a big reason I stopped smoking Dutches. Because it killed the flavor of this weed I was spending crazy amounts of money on.
What do you think about outdoor flower?
I live right outside of the Adirondack Mountains.
Okay.
I grew up on good outdoor. Like that was the good weed to me before I found like hazes and sours and the cushes and like when before that wave it was outdoor. That was what good weed was to me. It was either fucking brick weed, like shitty fucking brick weed, or outdoor season would go from like
Purple Beasters from Canada.
Horrible. I never fucked with the Beasters.
They used to call it Granddaddy Purple.
Dude,
Purple
Beasters. That shit just burn your fucking throat, man.
Damn, I didn't have any of the purple Beasters. We had the fucking green Beasters.
I never seen no purple Beasters
purple
personally.
Beasters.
Yeah. We had that where I was at, yeah.
And it was Granddaddy Green.
It was Terp weed before Terp weed because we
Dude,
put a name on it when it was not what it was.
They used to send it through the fucking keef boxes like crazy before they send it out. Make a bunch of fucking hash with it. That's how they got down in BC, man. That weed was weak because they fucking took all the fucking good stuff off of it. It fucking was mad chemicals. That's why it was so dense. An eighth looked like this much in a bag. Like it was so tiny, dude.
Nuggets,
and like you thought it
nuggets.
ripped off. It looked like 2.5 of some regular weed.
Yeah, but then when you break it up, it'll be all big and shit. And it was like, holy shit.
I didn't even find that. I always found like the fucking broke up like shit too, man. Like, I don't know, man.
That was the first time I feel like I was like, this is not an eighth, dude.
Beasters suck.
Yeah. And then I'd get some outdoor, and this is back in like middle school and early high school before I was like really getting my own shit. We could bring my story into that. Actually, I'm gonna bring this up. So this is how I first started selling weed. This is a wild story.
Allegedly.
Nah, this shit was so long ago. This shit ain't fucking allegedly.
I was waiting for that.
We got
Dude, I love that you turned on that story. No, fuck that.
That shit's official, bro.
This is yeah. So 8th grade, and I'm walking home from the skate park. Just smoked a bunch of weed there. I'm high out of my mind. And I run into this kid. I ain't going to say no names. We'll leave that,
Ricky.
Well, I'll say his name is Andrew. Run into Andrew. He sees me. He's like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, I forget how the conversation went. But he's like, long story short, he's like, you look stoned. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking baked, I'm like, I just, what do you want? Essentially. And we weren't really friends, but we knew each other from school. And he's like, I can get a bunch of weed, dude. Like he was just kind of like,
you said this is like 8th grade?
8th grade.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
8th grade.
I can get a bunch of weed, dude. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I did not believe what he was saying. He's like, yeah, my dad's got a bunch. He's like, I could bring you some weed and this and that. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, bring me some weed to school. Didn't even think about it. I thought he was just bullshitting, Next morning, I was just to get to school mad early, like 20, 30 minutes early, chill with all my friends, and then we go in. But I run into him in the morning. He's like, yo, come to the bathroom. I'm like, all right, cool. Did he really bring weed? I still wasn't believing it. I'm like, what the fuck's he going to show me, So anyways, he pulls out a pack of Marlboros, right? Which I thought were Marlboros. Nah, there's a bunch of fucking cannons rolled in this thing, like thumb-sized joints, right? And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, let me see one of those. And I did a dry pull through it, and I'm like, oh, this is weed. It tasted like good weed. I could see it. And I see it on the end of the joint and shit. And it's really good. And I'm like, how much you want? And he's like, how much you want for each joint? He's like, $1. I'm like, what? I'm like, give me the whole pack. And there was probably like 8 of them in there, right? And I took him. I'm like, yo, you can get more weed. He's like, I told you, I can get tons of weed. And I'm like, you're serious? He's like, yeah, my dad grows this. He's like, he said, this is a quote. I swear to God. He's like, he's got barrels. I swear to God, he got barrels. That was his fucking quote.
What an intro to the game.
So I'm like, what? I'm already up on game. Like I'm already copping at market prices and shit. Like buying dime sacks that weigh what a dime should weigh. Buying, knowing the prices in eighths and ounces. Knew that shit already. So I'm like, yo, can you get some more of this? I'm like, but tomorrow, I'm like, I don't want it in joints. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I can bring it to him. I'm like, just bring it to me in a bag. And I'm like, and I'll bring you $20. And he's like, all right, cool. I'm like, all right, dope. Next day comes, he reaches in this kid always wore fucking shorts. It'd be below zero. This fucking kid have cargo shorts on, by the way. He reaches in his fucking cargo shorts, and he pulls out a fucking, it was at least an ounce, dog. Like some really good outdoor. It was so fucking fluffy and stinky. $20, bro. 20 fucking bucks. This went on for like fucking 8 months. Dude, this went on for like 8 months, and like that's how I bought like my first recording equipment. Like that's how like my first like 4-track, to start recording music on and shit. I bought that shit with
game.
What's up?
You were born to be in this game.
Yeah, I really was. And that's how I bought all my shit. That's how I bought like skate shoes and shit, because I always fuck my shoes up. We didn't have much money, so it was like I needed new skate shoes, skateboards, little money from these little ounces, and 2 ounces at a time I'm getting from really helped me
You
out.
must have been the man.
I was.
$300. Wow.
Yeah, man, it was fucking nuts. It was nuts, man. What's that? Yeah, he whooped his fucking ass, man.
It only took 8 months though, huh?
Nah, he ended up getting caught and still made it happen. Like,
When that kid got caught, he's like, I'm looking for a
once he
fucking
got
week.
put on game, though, he must fucking hate me to this day. Like, yo, that motherfucker Scotty, man. Like,
He probably still thinks about it.
yeah,
He
he was
probably-
probably,
yeah.
damn, that motherfucker was getting me. Like,
Getting it.
he was just exploiting me. Like,
Yo, so you know what I talk to people a lot about on these like shows and shit too, and this stems off of your story, is that do you guys remember like buying weed just to smoke? Because I feel like a lot of us at this table, and we were talking about like custies and like people who facilitate weed.
Yeah.
I don't really remember doing that. Like every single time we buy weed, it's like we take shit for ourselves and we try to finesse it.
I'm
You
gonna
know?
say I have, like, I've bought in a couple. I buy some weed from here once in a while, but like,
Shout
I
out
don't
Stage One
buy-
dispensary.
I don't buy weed. Like,
But that's what I'm saying.
since
Not
probably
a
that.
Not a long time. I would say in college. I talk about this often. Used to go to the Heights and buy
I'm definitely lying.
20s
'Cause-
and dimes of haze in Washington Heights, and then yes, was I also buying fucking quaps of beasters? And
That's what
flipping
I was
them
about
at
to
the
get
doors?
to.
Yeah.
That's exactly
you know
what I was about
so
to get
I was
to.
flipping them but I was still going and buying my weed. Like I would buy the weed that I would sell to people, and
Yeah.
then buy the weed that I would smoke.
I would still bust down a bunch of my good weed. So I would sell like my Aries and shit, like the Arizona weed, and like, yeah, remember that shit, like the green, the
dough
green
weed.
brick weed.
They used to call that
the
dough
green
weed.
brick weed. Like that shit smells
yeah.
and tastes. I'd rather smoke that than Beasters, by the way. Putting that on the record. Aries over Beasters.
Aries over
By the way, I
Beasters.
haven't seen Aries in like 15 years, 20
Red-haired
years.
fluff.
And
Jamaican red hair.
but yeah, so I'd move a lot of Aries, and I would buy Piff. But I would still
smoke.
break that
To
down
smoke.
into dubs just to sell to my homies and shit, and
This
make
is
a
my
little
point.
bit back
It's
off of
funny,
it.
dude. It's like we're addicted to it.
Like I
Yeah,
still couldn't
yeah.
bring myself to not make something off of it. Like
I legitimately think I'm addicted to selling weed.
No, I got to the point where I like bought an ounce worth of 20 bags from the guys in the Heights, and then I finally got them to sell me an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
But it took mad long. But it was still $560 fucking for the ounce. But at least it was a fucking ounce.
Yeah,
it was a
yeah.
whole bud and shit, and it was like. But yeah, that to that point, even the guys that I would go buy the weed off of to smoke, I ended up finding a way
Yes.
to buy enough of it to sell.
It's like we're addicted to the game, and look,
Yeah,
you own a
yeah.
dispensary now.
Yeah.
Like it's still,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still
It's
going
still
on.
there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what I was
absolutely.
telling you about, like what the joy I get out of this brand and this market is, like getting back to roots of selling weed to different types of people who go into dispensaries, because a lot of people still buy weed on the street. But,
Yeah,
like people
yeah.
going into dispensaries, as you guys know, is a different types of people, and it seems like there's some, at least right now, seems like there's like kind of cool purpose to it. And like you guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about education too. Like your guys seem very big on education, and a lot
Yeah.
of people who come into dispensaries, do they ask a lot, or do they want to know more? Are they like standoffish about
Certain
it?
I'd say
customers.
It's,
It
yeah, it's
depends.
half and
Yeah.
half, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, you got your people that want their shit, and I can always feel the vibe of that. Like, I'm not gonna overload you with information if I can tell you don't want to be overloaded with
Right.
information.
Yeah.
If I can tell if you want to get your weed and get the fuck out of here, or if you're I see them wheels turning and shit. It's like, well, let me help you figure it
It's
out.
not even just weed, dude.
Some
You ever
people are
go-
very sure of what they want and know what they want. I'm not gonna.
And then some people want to be sold, and they want you to give them information about
want
it
your
and tell them,
suggestion.
and they want you to nerd out a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe they don't even understand what the fuck you're saying, but they can like nod along and be like, yeah, and then feel like they're leaving more informed than they came in, and,
And
there
when-
definitely is that crowd.
They'll hear them terms a few times after a couple visits too, and they will actually start to catch on to
And
those
start
things,
using
you know.
them.
And then
Right.
you go
Did
do a
that.
little research at home, like. And
Well, I told you earlier, I was like, you guys have power as bud tenders, because I know a lot about genetics and things, but even me in this market, I was asking you, I was like, you tell me what is good in here, because like I come from a different world and I create my product for my customers, and I'm looking to see what new brands are putting out and what they like. So the bud tenders have a lot of power. And to quote Spider-Man, I'll leave that to the people.
Let's talk
With great
about
power comes great responsibility.
with great power comes great responsibility. Let's talk about the type of license that you have, though, right? You have a tier 3
processing. They like to call it a white label. And the way that I try to even sell it to people is that like we're able to buy weed, and then through our processors, a Capital Region, which is Revert and Golden Gardens, I'm able to have them make meat products. So we're just going to come out with a pre-roll, honestly, just because like it was an easy way to get into the market.
Can you buy weed from any cultivator, or do you
Yeah.
have to fuck with just the cultivators that your processor works with?
No, I could buy them from
Buy
anywhere.
from any, so you can like go around the state and like buy from micros and buy from and you can get this wholesale pricing that isn't necessarily available to the dispensaries,
Yes.
but is only available to the tier 3s in that way.
I think it's just the same as other processors, like the 1, 2, and 3. The 3 is just, I think I haven't seen it in many other states.
Yeah.
Because people just do this.
Right.
They just use their brand. They call them IP licensing agreements.
Yeah.
So they
yeah.
just use their likeness, and these people own their likeness. So like trademarking and for like
and then
imagery.
they pay a licensing fee
Yeah.
and then do the
I think
thing.
the state of New York is trying to get their cut of that. And that's basically what we did, but we have a little bit more from like what you're saying. Like I'm able to go out and buy product and have more control than if I just had an IP licensing agreement where like I would be at mercy to my contract in an IP licensing agreement.
Do you pay the excise tax, or does the processor pay the excise
I pay
tax? You pay it.
Yeah.
Okay. So does
That's
the
where we're getting
processor
couple months.
also have to pay the excise tax too?
Yes. That is why
That's
I think
wild.
that they did it.
Wow.
If you just like kind of figure, see that.
That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking these
know.
questions. I'm chasing the money. I'm trying to figure it out.
I feel you because I have to pay that shit.
Yeah.
They also put me in the game. You can't hate on it that much, and like
Right.
and it's and I honestly I would
You
love to
can't.
What's
I'm
that?
playing. I said I can hate on it.
Allegedly.
I can hate on it for you.
Well,
I can hate
yeah.
secondhand on it.
Thank you. I love the state of New York.
Yeah.
So do I.
Yeah.
I'm a very proud New Yorker.
Yes, yes,
Fierce, I'm a fiercely
yeah,
proud
yeah.
New Yorker.
But that's the thing, and I would love to see a lot of. I want to see a lot of the other. Do you guys see a lot of other people like with the license I have come through?
There's a couple. There's a
Right.
couple. You know what I mean? And I think there were a couple that came through prior to that license even being a thing. So like Rove
In different
was
ways.
out here with with their brand through. Now they're with Hudson, but before they were with Gen V, which is like Heirloom.
Yeah.
And like so they were jumping from processor to processor.
Heavy Hitters was with them initially
Heavy hitters, same thing. A few of those larger companies that came in. I don't think they have.
Have
They
you
might
been out to
now
Heirloom?
have the 3, but I don't think they started out with the 3.
I think,
Right.
and here's the biggest difference between them and me is that they have tons more money than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, have you been out there to Heirloom?
No, but
It's
I've
insane.
seen, I've heard.
But like
It's
19,
insane.
well, 19 Heirloom isn't
But
that.
Heirloom's-
But
they-
Heirloom is not them. Rove,
Yeah.
Rove is them, but
But
working with Heirloom.
Heirloom's like a Revert or a Golden Gardens or Capital Region to
Right.
me.
Yeah,
that is,
they're like that
Heirloom's
kind
to
of.
Rove.
They're like a New
Yeah, yeah.
York. Yeah, Rove
And-
is a from an out of state brand.
I might
Heavy
be
Hitters
really
out of
lucky.
state brand.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Shout out Revert. Shout out Danny, Alex, Devin, all those guys with Golden Gardens and Capital Region because they're just cool. I met them because their
Yep.
growers are from Maine, and I've gotten down in Maine. We've talked about that off camera and shit
Yeah,
about
yeah.
roots and shit. Like that's the only reason I'm here.
Shout out to Maine.
No, shout out
Shout
Danny,
out to-
Devin,
shout out- yeah.
and the whole squad.
Shout out craft growers.
Yeah.
We've been
You
fucking
know,
with them since
Maine
the
really
beginning.
put
You know
out
what I
their
mean?
East
We
Coast,
sold
man.
like right off the rip. We
Maine.
sold more
Maine.
Revert than anyone in the state in the beginning. You can ask them; they'll fucking tell you.
They're just
They
cool
like-
guys.
Yeah.
And I think that might be the difference too. And I met you guys are big into music. I know Ben over at Astor Club and like those guys
Yeah.
over there, and I hang out there sometimes. And I
I
met
don't know
Steve.
him, but I know.
Do you
what
know
you're talking
Steve
about.
LaBelle?
What's up?
Do you know who Steve LaBelle is?
From the music industry.
The
right?
music industry
Yeah,
guy. Yeah. So I met him there one day, and we were just like talking about not hip hop. We're talking about the weed industry because he's
Are you
in
talking about Steve Lobel?
Yeah, is it LaBelle
Okay,
or Lobel?
okay,
Or the
yeah,
guy,
yeah,
the guy from Eazy-E,
I got it.
Nipsey Hussle.
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah. He does stuff with cookies and stuff. And the thing that stuck with me, what he said, was the weed industry is 10 times more cutthroat than the music industry. And me just being a fan of music, you just know that you're like, that's what you hear all the time, is that people just get fucked over all the time.
In the music industry?
And like hearing that from someone like him, I was like, holy shit. I was like, that is fucking crazy.
Well, where does he come from? A California standpoint?
He was in New York he was talking to me about how he's opening a dispensary and wants my product in there. But who knows what those guys are on different games. Who knows what they're saying? But he has dispensaries in Massachusetts. It's called Rolling Jays. Shout out Steve. He was very cool to me. But but the thing,
he's a fucking legend, man.
yeah. But my point was there's a difference where like I think I got just fucking lucky with these guys over at Capital Region and all them because they're just cool, like And for now, obviously things change with everything. And you always got to be ready for that. But I literally had a conversation with them this morning about that, about like relationships in this industry where you got to respect people's business and you could be a good person, but like sometimes bottom lines are everything, and that people going behind their backs, cutting them out of things with a tier 3 white label processing license, it could be done.
Very easy.
They could screw me over if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So it's like
you got to pick and choose your partners very fucking wisely.
Absolutely.
And you got to roll with the punches with things. You got to understand your value.
That actually happened with us recently. I don't know if you know about it, but with the CBD product, they were like, "Yo, we make that for them, right?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Just get it from us,"
Transparency is everything in this business, and I think in life that's like a deeper spiritual thing for me.
Yeah.
But like what I've had to learn it because dude, I'm a hustler my whole life. So like I've had to learn.
Not a lot of transparency in the hustle all the time. You gotta find the people who are transparent in their hustle, and those are the people who you fuck with. But there's a lot of like not that.
Keep that third eye open, brother.
Always. Yeah. So that I think that serves you now getting into here, and then finding the people. Like having that third eye open, being able to find the people that you can be like, yeah, I can fuck with these guys and do this with them and make some money with them, and I think they'll be cool about it. And then they,
we'll see.
We've been doing that with a lot of people, and it's been a great year and a half. We haven't had too many fucking shitty partners. We've had some great partners. Shout out to all the people that we fuck with at Stage One. We have a great selection. Honestly, the best in the business. I feel like we curate the fucking best products that exist.
Because we have a lot of products, but we fucking very selective about those products.
Right.
I've watched it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why we won't say the names, but being in the shadow on the wall for that conversation, it was awesome.
Yeah. We had a vendor come and tell us. He was like, "You guys are the only dispensary that has ever asked me for a Labrazole."
Yeah.
I was like,
so crazy.
I mean, you were a fly on the wall in this meeting that we like. He was up here doing a pot, like something for his podcast, little video thing for his podcast, and Will and I were in a meeting. I'm not going to say what the brand,
big brand,
and but Will is.
Shout out, Will.
We stand on business, man.
We stand on business.
If the state's not gonna, I had my little protege in there too. I was looking at it. I was
if the state's not gonna regulate mold, we will.
You know what I'm saying? If the states, so we're cracking shit open. We're looking on the inside and we're saying, nah, I don't like what's in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we know we're doing. And then, so you could just trust that if you're coming and copping some shit from us, it's like tried and true and tested for real.
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? I keep hearing about this mold thing, and in Connecticut they do the same thing where they like are very lenient about certain mold.
We're mold and yeast and microbes there is no limit, but we limit it to 100,000 CFUs. So that's because that is like the standard, like the high end of the standard in a lot of other states that have a standard.
Yeah.
So we don't have the standard, so we said, all right, well, we're not gonna like totally shaft the fucking all of the growers and give this like unreasonable standard
Well,
that's
it's hard to grow
impossible
weed without
meet.
mold on it.
Without,
Right, right.
well,
It's hard.
especially with how they had it with the outdoor.
Right.
It was like you guys got to grow outdoor. It was like
And
There's still not a lot of
no,
indoor.
but even with the outdoor, there's practices that if you know what you're doing, you can like remediate the amount of mold.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can also like not like after the fact, and you can also fucking do, you know, in your growing practices, make it harder for the mold to live and shit, and the yeast to grow and not give it an environment that it wants to thrive. And there's a lot of things that can be done. And unfortunately, in the beginning, you had a lot of hemp growers who moved over to grow an outdoor weed, and they didn't have to ever worry about mold and yeast and any of that shit. And
They
when
just were
they're
able to
growing
put it on
hemp,
the market.
yeah, and they were and it was just because industrial hemp, you're like it's getting turned in, all of it's getting turned into distillate and then turned into other products like gummies and fucking tinctures and lotions and all that market. That's what the CBD market was, dog treats, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
nobody was buying CBD flower. So if you grew fucking hemp for CBD, you weren't worried about any of that other shit. So if what New York State did is they gave most of those people licenses first.
yep.
So they started growing that shit without even considering that. And that is why New York doesn't have a fucking mold and yeast requirement, because of how they set it off.
It's technically
in that.
grandfathered in right now.
And well, just because of the people who they gave the licenses to initially that wasn't on their fucking radar yet. They weren't growing weed. They didn't have people who were black market weed growers. They had motherfuckers who like saw what was coming, and they were like, I want to get in on this, and that was promised
As a
to
New
me
York
as a
farmer.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
Which is cool.
Which is awesome.
Which is
I don't
cool.
want to take anything away
Yeah.
from that, but it just made it so that in the beginning, some of the weed had a lot of mold. Then they had, and
the
there-
weed still has a lot of mold.
so it's a lot less though. We're seeing a lot more, but people know if their shit is moldy, they don't pull up, and if they do, Will always checks the fucking labs, and if the labs have over 100,000 CFUs, we turn it away.
Yeah.
And people know that that's what happens here.
Yep.
So
And that was a challenge for us at first.
It was,
to
at
get
first.
shit in the store, because like
You have to say no a
weed
lot.
came. There was a brand, I'm not gonna name them, and they were growing nice looking weed that had good terps. Their branding was on point. I loved the brand. And early on when we
Yeah,
first
me
got our
too.
training and that brand came in, I'm like, this is the brand I like the most. This is the brand that's like catering to me the most, I feel. And a lot of the weed was just so moldy and couldn't take it anymore. And
yeah.
yeah.
And there's
I hope
there's
they got it
brands
together.
that have like some of the weed we take is great, and some of the weed we can't take because it's moldy. It's like not even it doesn't even, you know what I mean? Like, well, it is what it is. It's not some of the fucking indoor shit or the greenhouse shit has mold on it. It's like hard. It's a really
It's
hard
hard to
thing
grow
do.
weed.
Yeah, it's
It's just
hard.
in general.
It is.
Like,
It is hard to grow
it is
weed.
hard
Even
to grow
indoor.
weed. Hard to
Yeah.
grow good weed.
hard to
Indoor, it's
grow-
hard to
Absolutely. Indoor's
control
harder.
mold too.
Yeah,
Indoor,
you
yeah,
have to,
it's
no,
hard.
you just have to do a lot to make sure that doesn't happen.
TLC,
I feel like the
yeah.
outdoor, the mold is worse.
It's
Especially
harder.
in New
way
York
worse.
climate.
We used to grow fucking
If
weed
it's
in
wet,
hot
if it's
ass
a-
rooms too, man.
if it's
Those
a wet-
HBSs.
Yeah, if it's a wet fucking summer, end of summer, it's fucked. And
Yeah.
so the last summer was horrible. This summer was great.
Amazing. That's why
Amazing.
it's been a fucking field day. That's why I love my license right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Where I'm
yeah.
able, I can like go buy pounds of weed outdoors. That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, and, like, we
but
know-
but you're also so that you are finding the moldy shit too, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. And that should trust me. You should have
Yeah.
the revert guys on there, and they'll tell you some stories about that.
Yeah.
We haven't
They've
had them
to
on
go-
yet.
Yeah, we have not had Devin or
Yeah.
Danny on yet, and I need both of them on.
We've
here.
gone-
I'm gonna fucking actually put them on notice that they
Yeah,
have to pull
come on,
up,
boys.
be on the pod.
They
We already got Paulie on.
Yeah.
We just fucking brought his shit in. He just knows what he's doing with this brand, and I'm like,
Thanks, friend.
I fucking like the guy's energy. He's on point. He's making shit happen. He's got a fucking.
Thank you, man.
Already got your show. You're doing your clips. You're fucking dude. It's like I see the vision because you're putting it in front of my fucking face.
Crazy
you know what I mean?
vision.
It's a great
Ghostface
vision.
reference.
Did you guys see the bacon, egg, and cheese review
I
we did outside?
Yeah. Somebody else sent it to me though, which
That's awesome.
which I fucking love that.
That's fucking awesome.
Isn't it?
What's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we do is we did a pop up here last Friday.
Oh, I see
right?
that. You showed it to me
Yeah,
earlier,
I
right?
showed it
Yeah,
to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Was it? It was Friday.
It was Friday.
It was Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, last Friday. And we went to
Son of Egg.
Son of Egg. Shout out Son of Egg. Very
Shout out
cool.
Son of Egg.
And the cool thing about the last one we did.
You gotta go there for lunch too one day.
Well, here's the thing. We do bacon, egg, and cheese.
I know you do.
reviews.
I know.
Yeah,
Try
yeah.
lunch there.
I wasn't gonna go to Son of Egg. I go to like bodegas
Mm-hmm.
and like cuddy spots. And dude, this guy, I wish I knew his name right now. Shout out this guy. I hope he's watching. He was blowing up my DMs, telling me how I had to go to this place, and he said such a funny thing. He was like, I was like, I looked it up on Instagram. It's like a Korean, so it's like it's a Korean egg sandwich. He goes, I'm a local. Go there, eat it, and tell me. And I was like, respect, brother. I was like, I will. I'm not from here, and I'm doing this thing. I will respect your wishes.
Yeah.
And go watch that. That we did their Korean egg sandwich, but we're gonna release it actually today. I got to get you guys to follow us on Instagram so I could share it. Like I can invite you to share it. They do have a classic bacon, egg, and cheese at Son of Egg that is fucking incredible. It's better than their son. It's literally called the Son of Egg. It's the one I reviewed.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
the
I
Son
would
of-
enjoy the regular
I will
way
say
more.
this on air. It's the name of their place. It is nothing compared to their bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich that I'm going to be releasing today.
Yeah.
And it's the name of their bacon, egg, and cheese. I think that's what the homie was telling me to go get. I hope, because that thing was fucking banging. And they know, dude, that's what's so cool about a bacon, egg, and cheese, dude. Because I come from New Haven, Connecticut, which is like the pizza place. And
Yeah,
we're
pizza.
kind of like doing our own way of a pizza review with the bacon, egg, and cheese things. And the cool thing is I'm not from here. So I'm able to go to these places when I do my pop-ups and just have fun.
Yeah,
And I go,
yeah.
we just review these bacon, egg, and cheeses outside of the dispensaries we're in, so we can actually target market through Instagram, and it works clearly.
Yeah.
We're not shadow banned, and it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll just say that. It's been fun going to these different bodegas. But Son of Eggs, bacon, egg, and cheese, the classic, is better than their name of their establishment, Son of Egg Korean egg sandwich, for sure.
You weren't fucking with the kimchi in the middle of the
If you
egg.
watched the video, I was not.
Yeah.
And it's,
did.
right
You were
there
like,
with
you
you.
were
it's
like,
funny. I
yeah,
try
it's
my
funny.
best.
You were
I
like-
can't, it's hard to put people on blast.
Yeah.
You know, and the crazy thing is like they messaged me immediately, like, thank you so much, and I was like, fucking, whew. Because like I had also someone, we went to Fiorello's Bakery. You guys ever heard of that spot?
Fiorello.
And there's one right next to it. You know Nemo?
I know Mimo. Yeah.
Or Mimo. Yes.
Mimo. Yeah.
I got in trouble
Went
for
to high
that too. I said
school.
his
Went
name
to
wrong.
high school with Mimo. Yeah.
Yep. So we went to his spot, and then I went to the spot next to it, and they have like some beef, I guess, with the name.
Yeah,
and
because they're both
everything.
called Fiorellos. Yeah.
And I'm not involved in the beef.
No.
But I just reviewed the egg sandwich, and
Shout out Mimo though.
shout out Mimo. He is
Yeah,
the man.
He is the man.
But I will give the bacon, egg, and cheese to the spot next door. Love Mimo. I'm sorry, Mimo.
Mimo.
You are awesome.
Nemo.
But the bacon, egg, and cheese is better next door. But Nemo's Italian
Fucking
imports
throw
subs
'em.
no,
are
the
incredible.
subs are incredible.
And you
I
can
wouldn't
get
a
some
bacon,
things
egg,
in
and
there.
cheese at Mimo's spot because
I'm
that's not
putting you
even
on
what
the
it
spot.
is.
Mimo versus Cardona's.
You know what? For me, deli shit, Fiorello's.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
That hot sauce they got, that homemade hot sauce.
The one next door, not
It's crazy.
Nemo's.
Or the.
Because
Yeah,
they,
which- 'cause there's, you know, there's
they
the
have a
two-
homemade
yeah.
hot sauce at the one next
I
door
think
from
that,
Nemo's.
so that's the one. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, that's the one that I went to.
And
That
that's
shit
something I
is
learned
fire.
about. So we have this kind of game we play to the show. Is I only do salt, pepper, ketchup if they ask me.
Salt,
Because
pepper,
if
ketchup.
they ask me, then it's like it's a part of it. So I go absolutely. It's kind of like the Super Size Me thing.
Got
It's like,
you.
know?
Okay.
So Nemo did this too, and it was salt, pepper, ketchup, hot sauce. Threw me off.
Yeah.
Threw me off. So I got it all. Dude, it is an amazing
Yeah, that hot
combination.
sauce is crazy.
Yeah.
It's an amazing combination. Hot sauce with the ketchup.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Well,
Two
I
different red
lost me on the
sauces.
ketchup, but the
Yeah.
hot sauce is crazy though.
I've seen it done in New York City. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's common, but it's not uncommon.
Dude, the hot sauce, ketchup, salt, pepper, do it. Hash brown,
hash brown. I fuck with the
I
hash
fuck
brown.
with it, but it's. I would rather have it without. If you have to put a hash brown on your bacon, egg, and cheese,
I'm
Well,
right
let me
there
ask
with
you this, sir. How do you feel about
I
cocoa
like it on the
bread?
side.
If we're talking bacon, egg, and cheeses, how do you feel about cocoa bread? Have you
Bro,
tried it?
he put bacon, egg, and cheese on a cocoa bread. I thought he was a
Cocoa
madman.
I don't even know what cocoa bread is, and I'm ashamed of
Cocoa bread?
myself.
Oh, see, that got to be
Beef
an
patty
episode.
with the
1000%.
cocoa bread.
That gotta be
bro.
episode
See, this
right
is
there.
why I love doing
Yep.
what I do.
Yeah,
It's because
yeah.
I go off reference. Now I'm hunting for the cocoa bread.
Now you gotta get the
Yep.
cocoa
Now I'm
bread.
on the hunt for the
Yeah.
cocoa bread.
I'll put
Yeah.
you on. I got
First,
you.
you gotta
Thank you,
get
brother.
the beef
Thank you.
patty with
Gotcha.
cocoa
Yeah,
bread.
you
with
gotta-
cheese.
you gotta
cocoa
start with
bread.
the beef
You gotta
patty.
start
You gotta
with
start
Jamaican
with the beef
beef
patty.
with the cocoa bread.
You gotta
So-
start with the beef patty first,
I've
and
gone
then
to
work
places
your way.
out here where they put the Jamaican beef patty on a roll.
Well, that's the cocoa bread.
That's the cocoa
That,
bread.
is that what that is?
That's the
Yeah.
cocoa bread.
Yeah.
Well, it should be.
And it's sweet.
It should
It should
It's
be.
amazing.
The roll is
Yeah.
sweet,
I've had that.
right?
It's
Yeah, that's a
so
cocoa bread.
good.
That's
So
a
I'll be
cocoa
putting
bread.
my bacon, egg, and cheeses on that.
That's
That's
incredible.
how I eat my bacon, egg, and cheese.
That's a lot of flavor action. That's a whole lot of flavor.
That's like so bacon, egg, and cheese on like a sweet bread. It's almost like a croissant.
Something like that. Yeah, for
'cause
sure.
it's not like it's not like flaky in the same way.
No, it's
but-
more
but
fluffy.
it's More fluffy.
More fluffy than
Right,
flaky.
yeah.
Where's the best bagel around here?
Couldn't tell you.
We
Not
were
my
talking
forte.
about bitchin' donuts that I gotta go to tomorrow.
Man, it depends on what you like. Yeah, Uncommon
I was gonna
Ground
say
has like
Uncommon
the
Grounds,
fat,
yeah.
the fat bagels. And if you
Yeah.
get if you like Brugger's has gone downhill, but they used to be the fucking just all the because they boil them and shit and they make them like the old
I was
fashioned
gonna
way.
say
and
that's boiled or steamed. That's
yeah,
what you asked.
boiled, and they're so you get that hard exterior on the Brugger's ones, but I don't know. They've gone downhill the last few years. Man,
That at the
clothes
school,
it just ain't the same.
Yeah.
So I'd say Uncommon Ground now too.
And if you get a chance, try that bacon, egg, and cheese. I get it like every
Uncommon Ground.
Yeah, Uncommon Ground.
Yeah, you were just telling me about that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been having so much fun traveling. That's like, and when that guy told me that, as like, for me not being from here, I was like, all right, I'm getting respect as someone who's not from here.
Yeah.
And using like the judgment, I was like, I feel like better going out to these places
For
and like
sure.
giving like a good opinion on it.
You cracked the
know?
code. You surely cracked the code as a non-New Yorker
Yeah.
to gain respect from New Yorkers to say, hey, I want to find the best bacon,
Bacon,
egg,
egg,
and
and
cheese.
cheese.
fan, brother.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
like,
the
oh
fan.
yes, here.
You know,
Gotcha.
if it was pizza, it would almost be like, yeah, obviously, you're
Right,
fucking
right.
New Haven, like, you know what I mean? What
and
are you
also
gonna one
Dave's
bite?
got
Everyone
that
knows the
cornered
rules, us
so
or whatever.
hard,
But
like-
then you're coming to New York, you're doing the bacon, egg, and cheese. It just is a lot.
Like, oh, you get us.
Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
I love it.
And
I love it.
I'm a fan.
Right.
So like, and I just want to know. Because we could talk pizza all day. I'm from that area. You were talking
Right.
like
Yeah,
salads
Yeah, we
and
were
peppers.
talking pizza.
And that's why it's fun. Like you ask anyone else like me who's from there, they're not going to answer Sally's or Pepe's.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They're going to say something else. Like there's a place called John and Maria's. I grew up in a town called Branford that's like right outside. There's like 5 pizza places that are almost as good as Pepe's. And that's just like some town out there.
Yeah.
But that's what I see with the bacon, egg, and cheeses here.
That's what my boy always says. He's like, there's so many of them, bro.
but there's
Like,
so many, dude, the chopped cheeses,
You're crazy. I got one
unbelievable.
right over there right now.
So good.
Is that
Yeah.
the,
And there's
the
so
new-
many everywhere, and they're all different. You know, same thing with the pizzas. Like out there, it's like I don't know. I think there's something to the bodega on the go. That's why even with this brand, like I'm like inspired by it,
Buy it. Yeah,
and we try to
seriously.
make products that kind of go with that. Like the blunt.
So like the
have my blunt
pop-up.
and a coffee. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're
like the
having a good
pop
time.
up, dude, that you had like the coffee or giving out coffee. Your shit has like a coffee cup on it, like a
Yeah.
bodega coffee cup on it. That's
Yeah.
like the logo. And then you were like, yeah, like fucking donut holes on
That
skewers and
sticks.
shit.
Yeah. That was my high little
But it's just
Looks
like,
a
you
little
know, yeah, just like some.
Pockies. That's good. That's we want that to be our first edible.
What,
Is
what's
the Pocky sticks.
Oh, that'd be so
Yeah,
fire.
know.
that'd be so,
But that's like, yeah.
love Pockies.
that'd be so bad.
Give me some Pockies.
Yeah, I want to so bad. Might have to have you guys edit that out so no one takes my idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, we do that. We do that.
Nah, we're giving out IP like Elon, you know? It's all good. It's all good, dude.
Nah, man, it's free game, free game.
And
Somebody
that-
else does
yeah.
it before you, fuck it. But
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
But I'm going to test it and judge it.
that's
That's
right.
for sure.
Pockies, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, just coming from the legacy market, going
Mhm.
into the legal market, based off what you said earlier, would you attribute it more to knowing the right people and being in the right place at the right time kind of thing? Or
100%.
You were, all right, 100%?
Yeah, and because I don't think it's luck. I think it's exactly what you said about knowing the right people and being at the right places at the right time, which sometimes could be looked at as luck. But like, this is my entire life, you know, and it's always been. And I dropped out of high school. I've gotten in trouble for selling weed so many times. Right. I've been in the Bay Area. I've been in Maine. I've been in Rhode Island, Connecticut. Now I'm here in New York. It's the same shit. We're kicking it like we always have. Like, right. So yeah, it's the right place at the right time. And I'm still selling weed, but this is a new project. Right. And like, I'm finding that with these projects with weed, like you guys are doing this podcast right now. It's so insightful behind the scenes, peering into the window of like people who are facilitating the products that these people consume. So that's a project. It's all like fun weed projects. It could be looked at as art, but I try to pump the brakes on that too, because then it gets into the whole bragging rights thing, which I would love to talk to you guys about that too, is like where are the brands that don't want to be the man? You know, I feel like I saw a clip from you talking about the cookies thing, and I was with those guys. I worked with them in the Bay back then. You were saying that earlier. Yeah, and I watched a lot of them separate because of those values you're talking about, and like people going in different directions.
Would you say for somebody that was close proximity to that, was what I was saying pretty accurate? Or? Yeah,
but they used to be called the Cookie Family.
Yeah, I know.
And there was a lot of different people. And the biggest thing you said on that, because on that clip, was there's different people growing it in different states. You just can't control it. And the guy Burner, who I've met a few times, he was just like a hustler. You know, and he's actually a very good guy. All of those guys are very good Burner. Guys.
I really do. Like that seemed like I just think they did more harm than good. They created a lot. They started a lot of shitty trends, is what I was really trying to convey.
You don't think that was inevitable, and they were just like the people in the right place at the right time?
I mean, I guess.
You don't think if it wasn't? So you guys are in the music scene. Music played almost the whole part of that.
Yeah, so it's like I'd say in what we're doing here in New York in this legal market, we creating this kind of platform that is shining with different musicians and then mixing that into the culture of New York State legal cannabis is very similar.
They did that in the Bay.
To culture creation, and it's just what you do with that, right? And like, so I don't know. It's something we were talking about earlier in the office, Scott. Like, when what are you gonna choose when that bag gets put in front of you, type shit? Like, so they're out there creating culture with that whole movement, with that cookies, and like they have this fucking brand name that's now like popping because it's great. It's not popping based off of anything other than its greatness in that market in that moment, right?
Yes.
And then it's hard to scale that greatness.
No, you can't.
You know what I mean?
It's hard to scale all greatness in art.
But what are you gonna do? Like,
you can't franchise that type of shit.
Right, but what are you gonna do? Like, if the bag gets put in front of you and then this motherfucker's got t-shirts.
I respect Burner.
He's got t-shirts.
I like him as a human, even I really do. And like that video came off like I think horribly of him, and I don't in the least.
It's an interesting question, though. What you said, it's hard to answer.
I just think it set forth a lot of what we're seeing. I think even like what we're seeing with the crazy package and like the super absurd pack, that stemmed from this initially. You know what I'm saying?
So shit with like a drone. It was like
that shit was wild. I seen that.
It's like a fucking drone, and then there's like a controller and then a bag of weed in there, and it's inside the fucking the toy drone pack.
That's like a pack of weed.
Bag of weed. Yeah, they got them in the DVDs and shit. Fucking all sorts of crazy shit. But like they're doing wild shit now with the fucking.
I don't know. I like simplicity, dude. I don't know. That's just too much, dude.
Jacket one. Did you send me that, or did somebody else? It like zip.
I've seen that.
Jacket.
But isn't that some New York? I'm not, and I don't
No,
say
I
this
ain't
in a
mad at that.
disrespect.
I ain't
don't
mad
say
at
it in a
that. I
disrespectful
ain't
way.
mad at that.
Isn't that some New York shit though? Like glam fashion. Like New York is
Yeah,
fashion.
I ain't mad at
and
the.
hype.
I ain't mad at the cool bags, but like the crazy absurd shit. Like this costs way more than the weed that's in there, and you're not carrying them. That weed's not. It's probably spray pack. A lot of weed is spray
Right,
pack.
right.
That's going in those crazy packagings.
Right.
It goes hand in hand with pack. Like spray pack is fancy packaging.
Right.
It like is a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you break it down.
Technically, it's that.
Technically.
I mean, that's what packaging. But we talked a little bit earlier off camera about being upstate and the culture upstate, and how like you don't see a lot of spray packs up here, right?
Yeah.
See a bunch more in the city.
No, of course, yes.
Yeah.
You know, like that. That's
Yeah.
like what's interesting about being upstate. I'm in like 2 dispensaries in the city, and maybe it's just time. But I've also thought about that a lot. Of like, I like being up here a lot right now, and I wonder how much different that is in the city when it just comes to cannabis culture and like, and this right now, like this legal market. And that's what I was hearing in that conversation with
Yeah.
those guys. Was like you were saying that you're like, this is different than the city.
It is. It is way different than the
there's
city.
different
Yeah.
stories and culture, like you were talking about sour. Like I actually don't know that much about it.
Yeah.
Isn't that like there's like Albany sour? We fucked with. There was sour in the Bay.
Yeah.
That was like some different kind. I'm actually smoking 707 headband. That's like I think that's like a sour OG. That is like a Humboldt County thing. I don't know, but I heard there's tons of different sours, and there's upstate sour that people say is some of the best.
Yeah,
right?
so the story that we got, we had a AJ, like from the original Sour crew, and his story is like he actually had the fucking seed sent over from Amsterdam through a diplomat.
For sour?
Yeah.
But what was it?
And it was Chem Dog, but he didn't want it to be called Chem. He didn't want Chem in the name.
So it's a chem dog phenotype.
Yeah.
And there's so many chem dog
It came
phenotypes.
from a seeded bag of chem.
So who knows? That's why there's so many sours.
And skunk and supposedly mass skunk pollinated it, and that's the combination.
But
of sour.
that's the Albany or like the upstate.
That's the
sour.
original sour. That's the story that was conveyed.
And he said there was a crew in Albany growing it, and a crew
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Schenectady growing it, and a crew in the city growing it, and then a crew in the Catskills growing it.
I do
all
love
at the
that
same
gas,
time.
though.
And they were all like the same. They all knew each other, and it was all from the same cut.
all bag seeds. That's all.
Bag seeds sometimes get the best shit,
It's an accident. Sour is an
but
accident.
accidents are sometimes the best shit. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
about-
well,
My favorite shit ever.
Well, here's the funny thing is like a lot of weed's the same these days, right? Like
It
it
is.
just is like a lot of candy, or there's like different. A lot of things are similar.
I'm so
And-
over the candies and gelatos.
But why
and-
bag seeds are cool is that it's just random occurrence. People are like breeders are trying to like, they want to breed what sells or what will yield a lot, and then that will sell, right? So a bag seed, a random occurrence, is just fate. I don't know. I sometimes
is.
get a little spiritual
It
on
is,
that.
man.
That's probably why there's some dank that comes out of it, because it was fucking supposed to happen. You know what I mean? It wasn't like fucking pimped to like try to make this strain that's gonna yield a lot and like everybody wants.
Me and my boy have gotten so many beautiful accidents, man, like that.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like
You were talking
crazy,
about-
like some of the coolest shit we got was a complete fucking accident. Like, oh fuck, that hermed out and seeded this, and it was like, oh shit, now we got that. That's what that made. Like, oh my god, like
Yep.
it's incredible. Like,
That's where the fire comes from, man.
yeah. And sometimes those accidents, we ended up getting rid of what made those plants in favor of what it made, because it was just a better version now. Like, it was just this new thing that was better than both their parents. Goodbye.
Usually male pollinators are some raggedy ass fucking plants. But they fucking, when they blend, like you were talking about GMO, and like some people use GMO to like breed with certain things for certain reasons. But like usually GMO isn't the male. A lot of people use GMO as the catcher of the pollen.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Because it has good structure, and like you see GMO, it's usually big ass buds. So like a pollinator is always a good yielder. It's got like some weird shit to it. Breeding's fun. Like once you get into
It
like
is.
the mad science of it all, because like we were talking about before, it's like it's all bro science.
Yeah.
You know, it's like beautiful accidents all the time. Those people aren't going in there with PhDs. They're in the they're sweating in the fucking hot ass room.
Pheno hunting.
Yeah, like just trying to like make something happen, cash, because they just like had a kid or something. You know, that's why I like Maine too. Like Maine seems to like have that culture, and I tell those guys all the time that they're known as like the vacation state. I think that's like their slogan. So like I could see Maine being like a vacation weed place. Like they should, like people out there should take advantage.
They
of
haven't
that.
really embraced the weed culture though, have they?
Is that,
Like
do you
the-
think
like-
that's
like-
why it's so fucking good?
Like the government hasn't.
Because
the-
it's like pretty fun. Like all the weed.
Maine might
Like
grow the
all
best weed in the country.
Yeah, all the weed that I ever get from Maine is fucking
It's awesome,
bomb.
man.
Like what the fuck? So good. Is it because the government just stayed out of it?
I have no fucking idea.
A lot of
Why?
people
Why?
moved
Great.
from the West Coast.
The Wooks is there. That's why.
The Wooks, yeah.
The Wooks are there.
Yeah, they put that extra little like dirty grease. They don't shower for like 2 months, and something happens.
Something
Chemicals.
happens. They're fucking their
weed-
natural pheromones fucking feed the
Yeah.
plant.
It's like an
Yeah.
angry Italian lady that's
Yeah.
like miserable makes the
It's
best
like,
food.
It's like real time cannabinoid receptors, fucking from the tips of their dreads and shit, like touching the plant.
Yeah.
It's like airborne compost tea.
I think a lot of people moved out there when they went rec, or they're not even rec. Aren't they like some type of medical?
I think they're finally rec.
Yeah, and so I know a lot of people moved out there from the West Coast. Like isn't like AJ's in Maine?
Yeah, now he's back in New York though, and then maybe he's back in Maine. I don't know.
Yeah, he could
back
be.
and forth.
Probably both. Everyone's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know
Yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure, for
and
sure.
but like
He was working for Flower House for a while.
right, was
Yeah.
it good?
It wasn't.
Hey man, I'm gonna have to face backlash. I'm gonna have to face backlash for that bacon, egg, and cheese thing I said earlier.
We had.
So if we gotta be honest on here. I was
Yeah,
saying, I
you
don't
know
know
that.
Yeah, Fiorello's.
That Briar's farm, that fucking Will gave you that sour. Told me you said he fucked with it heavy.
Yeah,
I'm deflecting. It's like a mic.
I wouldn't say heavy, but it was sour.
It was It was sour. It was
Yeah,
sour.
yeah.
Like I cracked open the jar. I wasn't like, oh yeah, it's definitely sour. But then I fucking broke I like ground it and then rolled it in a joint. And then the room that I did that in actively smelled like sour for fucking like 4 hours. And I was like, oh, all right, that means something. And then I fucking smoked that shit, and I was like my vision was all fucking lit up, and I was like, oh, that's the fucking sour right there. This is the sour. It's actually the sour.
I don't even remember how sour felt. I smoked so much of it too. I remember how
Yeah.
it tastes.
I
That's
judge
the
sour.
smell. That's all that mattered to me.
I judge sour on if I put it out.
I wish I could remember how it
halfway,
felt.
I spark it back up. It tastes just as good.
Yes,
That's how I-
yes.
Yeah.
That's how I judge any. That's how the crazy rounds is.
Yep.
You could
You
light the
smell it.
roach this big, and it's like, oh wow, it's crazy rounds.
It's awesome.
You
That's
can
like
smell
I
that
love
shit.
that shit.
Like
That's a gas straight too.
Yeah.
this shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think's the best?
This is what I'm smoking on is actually an AJ Genetics.
Oh really?
He he created this strain called Brain Force Plus, and it's crumbled lime crossed with sour 3 times. He back crossed it 3 times.
BX3. Whatever.
Yeah. And for coming from seed, it's like one of the most sour tasting things I've ever smoked. You smoked it.
Yeah,
That sour's. It
is,
tastes like
yeah.
lime slushy and sour. It's
Yeah,
so
it's good,
fucking good.
really good.
And that's on the market, like New York market.
No.
Ah, bummer. What do you
That's,
think's the best? What's the best flower on the menu at Stage 1 right now?
New Roots Garden, either a tie for both their strains. New Roots Garden, Point Break, or Grape Space
Grape
Cake.
Space Cake. Yeah, both of them.
Awesome.
Put me on
Those are
record
some
right now. I
pictures
will
of
be
pagan
grabbing
stuff.
one
Yeah.
before I leave.
Rolling Green.
This Taproot
Sub-Zero.
Superhoof is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and that's the smalls too.
the
That's not
smalls.
even
And,
like.
yo, it's
yeah.
not small though.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the smalls. Like it's still good. Like if anyone sees that at the,
Like,
we don't
that's
have
not
it currently,
small.
If anyone sees that at the shop,
That's
pick that
decent.
up.
They said they put it through a trim machine, but I ain't hating.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, their jarred stuff was
Smells
all
like
hand
Trop.
trimmed and
Smells like
whatnot.
that's Trop Super Boof.
yeah. It's
The,
Trop Super
the stuff
Bowl.
in the
Yeah.
jar was way better for sure.
I feel like Super Boof's like green Trop. It's like green weed
Yeah.
Tropicana cookies.
Yeah, it is.
Which is
It is.
good.
I've seen some purple, like some super boof with some fucking purple, some,
purple in it,
color
yeah.
in it. though.
I haven't really seen too much Trop cookies
What's it?
in the market. I would love to
Straight
see some
up
dark
Trop
purple
cookies,
weed,
yeah,
like some
yeah.
dark
Yeah.
purple Trop cookies.
Trop cherries, I find is even
yeah,
darker.
Trop cherries. Yeah, those are really
That's-
good.
Some Trop cherries are like black.
The
Like
one
literally, it's
yeah.
like black.
Flower
like-
House's Trop Cherry was pretty dark.
Yeah,
purple.
yeah,
really good hash.
without a doubt, without a
I
doubt.
already had one too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, high priority.
Rolling Green had a good
Rolling
Trop cherry.
Green had a good Trop
Rolling
Cherry.
Green had a great
yeah.
Trop cherry. Well, the Point Break is a speaking of Trop cookie, we were talking. The Point Break I was just suggesting is Trop cookie cross with Triangle Mints.
Nice.
Yes. So that's a good strain.
That's
We
probably
actually don't
really
have
good.
that one in stock. We have the Grape Space Cake in stock though.
I'm gonna grab one of those for sure because I want to get like some. Because you were telling me like there's good
Yeah,
indoors.
it's
down
small
there. 60 and 8,
craft. Yeah, it's
but
good.
it's good.
Yeah,
and
they-
I'll spend $60
Yo, this is
on a good
50 out the
indoor.
door
50.
too.
That's
Oh, really?
It's
50 out the
50 out the
door,
door
yeah,
too.
yeah,
It's fucking
yeah.
fair
It's
price
fair
too.
price.
Like it's
That's
like
tight.
Nah, he's
I can't
cool.
say
He's
enough good things
fucking
about him.
from
I talk about him
he's
every
in-
week.
He's in Voorheesville, his spot. He's like a micro,
rosin.
and his rosin is fucking super
That's actually
bomb.
the Point
Really
Break right there.
good.
The
So
rosin.
it's full spec.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
fucking great.
yeah, it's
dude.
really good, and he's super talented dude, and he's fucking,
That's
and he's just
fire.
cool, and he doesn't want to like, he's like, you know, he's coming from the black market too, so
Yeah.
he's not trying to beat people on the head on the
Dude,
price.
Sounds like he's a good guy.
Yeah,
There's
Is this
some
under
ru-
$100 a gram?
Yes.
yeah.
Dude, it's
70?
I think it's
se-
70 out the door.
That's-
I think it's
75 out the
$79
door.
bucks.
79.
That's awesome. For that's what it goes
A
in
gram.
Maine for hashish quality, and that's like
Yeah,
some of
he's
the
like,
cheapest out
yeah,
there.
he's really no. And
What a
it's-
cool guy,
And it's,
yeah.
and it's actually some of the best out there. So, you know, that's what the good micros are going to be able to do is come in and set
Mm-hmm.
that price at like to what it needs to be for us, everybody to be successful, and fucking for us to like sell the best product. And it's
And everyone can have a lane too. Like we're gonna,
Absolutely.
we're gonna see it soon.
$79.10. That's what it costs. I had to look it
That's
up.
not bad.
I don't want to be wrong on that.
A
$79.
$50 eighth and an $80 gram and
Of bomb-ass
good hash
rosin.
rosin that looks
Yeah.
good, smells good. I bet it burns good. Like
Yeah,
that's
It's-
awesome.
yeah.
It's as
That's-
good as it
that's-
looks. Like it's
There is,
fucking great.
and you know, as like a dispensary owner, like especially right now, like we would love to have fucking 500 of those,
Yeah.
and it still wouldn't feed the market.
Yeah.
It still wouldn't.
No,
but there's
I mean,
design
no,
out there.
we gotta have our $30 ace. We gotta have our, you know, four.
But there's a whole
four for
lot of
a-
$30 eighths out
Four
there.
for $100. You know what I mean? Make
Yeah.
that. You know, get some deals going and get people some. You know, we're doing things like that. We're not. So they're technically $25 eighths. You know what I mean? I think we got one special that's like 4 for $80. So $20 eighths, but it's
Nice.
not $20 eighth weed though. It's better. It's way better than $20 eighth weed. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, you got. I don't think you guys sell dirt weed.
No.
No, you can't do it, man.
no.
There's a whole lot of dirt weed out there. But that's my point. Where like that is feeding the market though,
yeah.
which is interesting. That's why I feel like if there's a lot more, there's so much shit weed out there, but there's not a lot of good weed. So I really hope that there's a lot. And this is coming from someone who sells outdoors. I try to sell good outdoors at $30 an eighth retail. That's what I try to do.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of that, right? But like, I would love to see more growers indoor, like selling $50 eighths like that, and like, you know, being able to use their smalls and washing it as like a craft product. And there's like the market won't be fed for that for like what, 5 years?
I mean,
Probably.
if they do the micros at the pace that they're fucking opening dispensaries up, which would be nice if they would if they would flip that and slow pump the brakes on the dispensary openings and open up a bunch of micros, because the micros are gonna feed the market what we want. Think about it like
Need more weed,
just more
good weed.
Yeah.
high quality, good weed. Like there's a lot of shit that could be turned to distillate, and there's great use for distillate for all sorts of fucking edibles and vapes and shit. There's all types of smokers. You know what I mean? But let's get some good, like the flower. Let's get the flower rocking, and then micros is what's gonna do it. It's what it'll allow people to spend to 10 to 3,500 square feet, you know, of grow. Like that's something that a person can tend to and really love, and like show it the attention it needs and grow it into a, you know.
35 is pretty fucking big still.
I know. I know. Like
you could make money off
you could make,
But no, it's just so much easier to really
manage. It's still big. You could do three tiers of it, right? You can go up with it, so you can.
They do in Maine.
You can have your fucking veg, and you can have your nursery and all that shit in that 3,500 square feet, and you could really make a lot of money doing it, and be able to create a craft product that people. That also, that type of marketplace will allow dispensaries to differentiate themselves.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Because then,
good point.
You know, because like if there's a fucking 1,000 dispensaries and we all have the same products that only the people who are able to fucking scale their shit up to serve us all have, then what's the difference? How do we differentiate ourselves from the people that are fucking right there? You know, we got dispensaries on our fucking backs everywhere, you know, right around us or just surrounding us. And how do we differentiate ourselves? Oh, we have some shit that nobody has. That's how we do it.
Well, the thing is about you guys too, and just this is like good creative people who are good at business as well. I could, just by getting to know you guys, I can write a list on paper of like why you guys are different, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I honestly feel bad for people who aren't going to be able to do that. But that's just an all business and every up and coming thing. A lot of people compare this to tech. There's a lot of tech companies that came and went. And we all know those names, but there's certain people who ran certain companies that like built brands that everybody recognized that turned into society. That's what I think weed's going to be. It's like a thing, right? And we were talking about if you come out to New Haven and like I would want to show you a pizza place, right? Like with weed, I think that's going to be just a part of like people going to microbrewery tours, or just like it's going to turn into like society. We forget that it's still federally illegal.
Yeah,
so it's underground still.
I'm kind of scared of federal legalization for the main reason because I feel like it's gonna get ruined once. Because who's gonna stop Amazon from selling weed on day one? You know what I'm saying?
But that's just my point. Is that
right?
Like,
delivering that shit.
You know
on
what I'm
their
saying?
trucks
Like
and
I feel like that's just like fuck, man.
One
like,
day delivery for your weed.
But just it also gives us more opportunities to differentiate ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now my question would be if
But you're not wrong.
If we were
sure.
to federally legalize it, right? And then Amazon was to start trying to sell weed. The question is, are they contracting dispensaries?
in the beginning,
or are they
maybe they are.
Are they building warehouses?
In the beginning, they
store weed? In the beginning, they are.
In the
probably,
beginning,
right?
they are.
Look at what they do
They're
with t-shirts.
contracting dispensaries in the beginning, and then we're just delivering
Or not
their
even
fucking
dispensaries. They're gonna cut
The
right over a
growers.
dispensary. They're gonna say, "Fuck the dispensaries. We're going right to the
growers.
the cultivators."
weed to the cultivators, to the
And-
processors.
Exactly, and that's where they're gonna go. And
I don't know.
They buy people out with the processes a lot though. If you're like a top dispensary, Amazon will just come and buy your dispensary and like they did with Whole Foods or the big diaper company or whatever, they'll just buy you out and use your systems.
all right, that's
Right.
cool. That's
Yeah.
cool for the people that get a buyout, but
No, for sure. It's not cool, but it's cool for the people.
Yeah.
I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. Right.
But you're right. I mean, like Amazon did that with the t-shirt business.
Yeah.
They did that. Like you could just get everything direct, but like you could also say custom tees. That like it happens in every industry. We're just still so underground, and
not federally regulated.
And we were right. And
state
when it
regulated,
does,
right.
it's gonna, dude. Like we saw that with hemp. Like I opened a CBD store. I do my thing. I get things done, but like at the same time, like if someone like me once it went federal, I was like, I'm opening a CBD store next week.
oh yeah.
I got $10,000. Like once federally legal, like there's gonna be people even more than right now.
How far
Just
off do you
getting
think
ready
we
to-
are from it?
5-10 years.
Yeah, me too.
And it being implemented, probably 20. Like, here's my theory, and I'm biased because, I mean, we all should be. We're in it, and we do profit off of it, right? So we want it, like, certain things to go our way. And I think that everyone thinks that it's going to be like gas stations, right? And convenience. But this is that. Like, there's not. I think that the culture of good dispensaries can literally last 100 years, no matter what happens with federal legalization. If you have good customer service, like, you know your product, why wouldn't your local community come and support you all the time?
It's
just
like
they
the
support
pizza
a deli?
parlor that's been open
It's what I
70
mean.
years. You know what I'm saying?
So it's just a part of society. It is the local pizza parlor. You know, like the dispensary, and like you guys are already doing it. That's what I was saying. I could write that list right now from just getting to know you, and that's why I do feel bad, just because I'm a nice guy. But at the same time, it's like I mean, people are gonna come and go. You can't get with it. Like you can't. You know, how many times have we all had to pivot with certain things?
Shit.
And like,
I'm the king of the pivot.
yeah, it's
I've switched lanes so many
Oh,
times.
man.
Yeah, and like we're not afraid
Successfully
of it,
too, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like,
I
had
fucking-
success in each lane I switched to.
Mhm.
Like,
Fact. That's
but
a
we're all
fact.
still selling weed, talking to people every day, and that's rad. That's what I'm loving about this New York legal market. Is it feels like that. It's not like some shit I gotta see. Like you were saying, you missed the days of breaking down the pound. Dude, I'm like the legit opposite. I'm like, dude, this is so cool. I could sell like case units. That's like 35. And it's like I'm sick of the breakdown.
I don't want to bag the shit. I don't want to do all that shit. I just want to like buy it in that way where I'm buying it by the plate and saying, let's put it together like this.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Where
As
we sell the
opposed to,
ounces
like-
ourselves and do our own ounce deals and like
But-
deli style. Like
That would be
Colorado used to be. Are they still like that?
No, I don't think many people are like that. It was Maine.
Last time I was in Colorado, it still was. Like,
Really?
oh, you want
They were
14
deli
grams
style?
of that? Yeah.
That's cool. And they do like they have like some tongs sometimes or whatever, like little chopsticks.
There's some spots in Mass though too.
You can do like the mix and
They
match
have a
ounce. Like,
combination,
That's fire.
Like they have ones with the
No, I don't
delis
even give a
stuff.
fuck about that shit, dude. I'd say bag it up in your shit. You want it branded and you want to fucking put your fucking shit out into the world. Give it to me in boxes, in bags and boxes. Fuck it, because that's how everything really comes already. But I just want to be like, I want to buy by the pound, and this is, I mean, a price that's like, as opposed to by the eighth. It just feels.
like you
Now
get
I
custy.
Now I get
It feels like when you first
started buying haze.
Yeah, that seriously, it just doesn't feel. It just feels like, yo, what the fuck? Can we get?
Yeah. When
And
I
I
bring you
get
guys
it.
to deliver, I'm gonna put it in a pound bag and leave the bags out and be like, hey, you guys said you wanted to bag it.
Nah, so it, you know,
But it's the dispensary and the process, like it's two different sides. So like
Completely.
you would rather buy it by the
Completely.
pound, but he loves kind of breaking it down.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, but it's been doing the pop-ups is fun too, because we like to the bacon egg and cheese review thing. We will give out free blunts that day just if people like give us a follow and just kind of check out what we do. Like we know, like we just want to give our shit out there. And what do we do with weed? It's like the best marketing ever is like try this,
Try this.
call me,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So we try to just give out the products and then have people follow us. But we like talk. I like talking to people. You know, that's why like when I met you, I'll pick your guys' brain all day about like the customers, and it's just genuine curiosity. And I think that's why we're starting to do well. Is I only focus on like what they want.
What
You know?
the people want. Yeah.
I give them game and I have branding and I have fun, but it's relatable. Like, you know, we talk like everybody. I mean, at least people like us, like I feel like normal people know getting a coffee, getting up early and going to the local spot and like whatever and getting high. Like I try to just keep it simple like that. I'm fascinated right now selling weed like that because always had to have the best shit. We bred the strawberry cream cheese. I was so hyped on it. It's like
Yeah, I
mine.
was gonna have you talk about that.
Yeah, no one else has it, because we made it. That was accidental pollination too. So we got a spot in Rhode Island, and the reason we're Breakfast Connections is because we were up early and we had accidental pollination, and we were breeding just with all the shit that we had. And then when we did the pheno hunt after that, we were just always up early, like eating breakfast shit like all the time. So we're like, fuck it, we're just call strains that and whatever. And that kind of evolved into who we are. And we're just guys who get up early and love weed is kind of.
It's the breakfast connection.
And do you go to bed early too?
Absolutely. I was going to joke before and say this is
Like,
definitely past my
your
bedtime.
Absolutely.
But you boys, I got coffee up late, talking.
Every
We're good.
Tuesday, I'm up past my bedtime, guaranteed.
I'm just have horrible sleep schedule.
Yeah, I fucking.
The only way to get up early is to go to sleep early. We always forget that.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wish.
I was always that kid though, like the fucking sleepovers when we were young, and like people like, go fucking sleep.
Nah.
I got too much energy.
You would fucking fall asleep first though, and then motherfuckers would fuck with you.
Sometimes my shoes were always off.
Yeah.
I play by the rules. Again, I could keep that third eye up.
Yeah.
Coming for me. Pause.
Pause.
There you
I
go.
was about to get you.
Hey yo.
Told you, once you go down the pause rabbit hole, you'll just be like saying it all day long.
Oh, it's just getting worse.
Just a quick question before we get to our segments. So like, with this market, you have to be authentic. It has to be something that makes you stand out. So you decided to make your pre-rolls with the blunt paper, but it's not made with tobacco.
Yeah, it's a hemp cone.
It's a hemp
So
cone,
it was the easiest way to get into the market was pre-rolls, because again, like with the license I have, I could, like, if you like good outdoor, the one thing people knock on it is the way it looks. So, business-wise, I was like, I could sell an affordable product that's convenient for people, that isn't really based off of look. It's based off effects and the taste and the experience, right? So I literally was just like hanging out with the Reverb guys when I was trying to develop it, and they had them there. They just had custom cones blunts there. And I was like, oh shit, like what are those? They're like, we just got these. And I was like, I love blunts. Like you guys saw, I'm from Connecticut. I have the tobacco. I'm smoking like shade leaf right now. And I was like, what? I wonder how that is. And I honestly was like, that's probably gonna taste like shit. And I was like, it's gonna suck. And then we tried it, and I remember allegedly I was driving and smoking it, and maybe, and I remember just being so fucking hyped. It was the Gelato Fire one. That was the first flower I put in there, and I love that strain. That's like when it comes, because I got that from Revert. That's their best flower. And
I mean, how? All right, let's just go from the bud tender's perspective, just not to cut you off.
Yeah.
When revert, like height of revert, when we're just banging revert out crazy. Gelato Fire was at the highest selling.
They all fucking sold.
They all move the same, right? They all
I remember the sticky buns going crazy.
sticky buns going.
Well, they came out. They were one of the few brands that close to a $30 price point. They were like $33.90 out the door when we opened.
Right
Before that was even a thing.
So they were just
That wasn't even a
flying.
thing
People
at
were
that
like,
time.
oh shit, we can mix and match all these shits, and people just kind of went crazy with it. Same thing with their pre-rolls,
Yeah. Yeah, and they had the half-gram
They
pre-rolls.
offer variety and price point early on in the market.
Right?
Yeah.
Like right off the rip, they had the
they're
half-gram
just good
pre-rolls.
guys, and they don't
$7.
want to, like you said, the other guy doesn't want to like.
Nah, they came in. We were one of the first, right, to open, and they're right around the corner from here. They're like Saratoga
Yep.
area,
Connected.
and so then they like when we first got open and they were like really pushing. They came here and they brought a bunch of shit, and we were like, "This is what we think we could sell this for, and if you let us sell it for this, out the door, we'll fucking sell so much of this weed." And they were like, "I don't know." We were like, "I'm telling you." They weren't sure they wanted to be the $34 an eighth guys. They weren't sure, and we told them, "Listen, if we sell this shit for $33.90 out the door, we'll fucking." It'll kill. We'll kill it, and we'll sell. And they'll tell you, We fucking sold
I know.
so much of their fucking weed. Yeah, they were so hype off of the amount of weed because no one was selling any fucking weed yet. We sold so much of their weed early at that price point.
Good
because
weed at a good price.
good weed at a good price, and they fucking killed. And in this store, we murdered with Revert in the beginning. It was insane.
That's a fact.
It was like we sold more of that than fucking anything else by far. And they were and now they're like, you know, they're fucking crushing it everywhere.
They're crushing it, yeah. And they're good. I'm a fly on the wall with them all the time because I watch them have like 5 employees to like having like 15 employees.
Yeah.
And like I just learn like from them all the time.
Uh-huh.
And we got that cone, and I smoked the gelato fire in it, and I remember being so pumped, and I was like, holy shit, like this is like really good. And I remember clicking in I was like, I love blunts. This is a good blunt. I got into this trying to like make an affordable pre-roll for the market. Like that was all I was really thinking. I have a brand, and it kind of all clicked from there. And it's just a better pre-roll, how I see it, with those cones, with that blunt. Because I love blunts. I know a lot of New York smokers smoke blunts and shit, right? And I think we smoke them a lot of times because of how it burns, the experience smoking it. We're obviously addicted to nicotine, but well, you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Most people that smoke grabba is addicted to the grabba, and they're not understanding that that their want to smoke is mostly coming from the tobacco and the nicotine of the grabba. And I think that's an obvious thing but it's just a lot of people don't realize it. That like, what do you feel about grabba, and do you think that it's like bad? I mean, I don't knock out nobody smoke, but do you?
I love tobacco.
So what's your thoughts
you're
on
a big
grabba?
tobacco
So
guy,
here's the thing: I don't know too much about grabba, but is grabba flavor infused?
No.
So
It's
it's a
just crushed
B52.
up Fanta.
It's
It's
probably
better
a
not be.
B52 is what it's called. It's the darker leaf,
Oh, okay.
and like they mostly grow I think in Nicaragua.
It's super dark.
It's a
super
dark.
dark.
That's
Like
what
yours is
that's what
light skin,
a
yeah.
backwood is. A B52 leaf that has a bunch of shit on it.
What?
Well, the flavored ones.
Oh.
They probably have one like a
those
Dutch
are spray
Palma.
packs.
Like a Dutch Master, like a Palma. People call these vanilla Dutches. They're not vanilla
they're
Dutches.
Palmas,
There's
yeah.
a Palmas, like, you know, and there's no flavorings on it. That's why I like them. That's why I've always smoked
Yeah, I don't
Dutches.
know why it was
People
always
smoke
like
games. It's
So
we
those aren't
always
vanilla?
like called it vanilla for some fucking weird reason. It does.
Absolutely. This
Y'all
is
just bust my
this
ass
is
with
not a
that.
vanilla.
No, but what about? All right,
You
so
never heard that called
the
vanilla?
I'm gonna
They
make
came
that
out.
shirt.
They
Well,
came
what
out
is a
with
vanilla
in the blue pack, right?
you never heard it called the
What's that?
Palma?
They came
I never
out in
knew
the
it
blue
was a-
pack. The Dutch Masters came out in the blue with
I
the
would
blue
still say
packaging,
it.
and that's when
If
they
I
were
ordered
called
one at
vanilla
That's what they're
Dutch.
called, a
I'd say
vanilla.
vanilla
Yeah.
Dutch.
Before that, they had a thicker leaf, and they had the red fucking wrap.
But that was a whole different. That wasn't a Palma.
Nah, it wasn't a
Yeah,
Palma.
yeah. What the fuck was that?
They used to call it a Corona,
the Dutch Master Corona, yeah.
and then a Corona Sport is that green leaf I gave you.
The
A
green
Sport
leaf.
is it's still a Connecticut shade, but yeah, the green, the other one, the green one. That I'm
And
smoking
what-
that one right now.
So
and
just to
and
be
what
clear,
are they-
right, that
a honey
blue Dutch
sport?
isn't a vanilla Dutch.
This is not a vanilla Dutch, but it's funny because if you get the cigarilla and it says Palma, it tastes like vanilla, which is
All
weird.
the vanilla Dutches our whole life.
It's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
But that going back.
Dills feels like you've been lied
No,
to.
for real.
But going back to
I
the
always knew they
grabba
were
thing,
Palmas.
going back to the grabba thing, it's just a spliff that's a B52
Just a
tobacco.
spliff, yeah.
That's all it is, and like spliffs have been around
Yeah.
forever. So it's
Forever.
just again, we talked
Fuck
about
them,
the
though.
term spray pack, right?
Yeah.
Grabba, like I just told you, that's why I asked what grabba is, and like I know more about grabba than people who might smoke grabba.
Right.
Just because I'm a connoisseur of tobacco because I grew up in Connecticut and that's what we grew, you know, just like pizza and tobacco. But that's my point where like it's culture. Grabba is sick, and it's like people like I smoke Dutches because that's what I've always have, and like guess what the Dutches are? It's the Connecticut shade leaf. I learned that, so like I still only smoke this Dutch or I get the leaves. So
It's kind of a pride
It's
thing why you
culture.
smoke
So
Dutch,
100%,
man.
and I'm addicted to
I
it.
fuck with that, man.
I'm addicted to it. It is how I smoke. But that's what's so cool about weed is that it's such a spiritual thing. is that like everybody has their rituals. And I think that is half the high. And I try to tell people when I sell weed is that I try to sell people on an experience and a story when they're buying it, and like give them a background of it so they get a feeling. So when they go home, they get a feeling, they get high. So like it's, if you give them a feeling before that, it's like you have a customer or like a member or like a fan of whatever you do for life. Even if they don't buy anything, they still support you because you're giving them a feeling, you're connecting with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say that about music, like the catchy hits, like those don't last. Like if you touch people's hearts, you got forever fans and shit. Like those artists that like they can not have another hit the rest of their lives, they're gonna be able to tour for 30 years because they connect with people's
Wu-Tang.
hearts and shit.
Like Wu-Tang is a perfect example. of that.
When they said Wu-Tang was forever, I didn't know how literal that was. Until recently, it's like, holy shit, I was listening to this shit in the fucking 4th and 5th grade. Like, this was like the music I listened to. I love this music. And now I'm still listening to that shit. They're still so relevant. It's like, this shit really is forever. You know what I'm saying?
Forever.
Like,
And what does music give you? A feeling. Like people feel it. So it's like, I think a lot of these things that will last is like a feeling. And like we were talking about the dispensary, like you guys already have that. I think all of us that will stick around will be able to connect with the end consumers. That's the biggest thing. That's why a lot of farmers have issues because they're just trying to get off packs. Where like I really care about like, that's why I keep asking you guys questions about like what are people buying, and like that's what it comes down to. We've been hustling so long, we like forget about that sometimes, like flipping ounces and shit to the next guy selling it. It's like it's nice to like get to that end consumer and like they care about that eighth. I talked to, you guys know Grove Bags?
Yeah.
So I talked to that when I was on one of his podcasts on the I forget the name of the podcast network, but either way, they just got into doing eighth bags, and I was talking to him about why a lot of people use Grove bags for like turkey bags for like big harvest.
Yeah.
But like they gotta care about what's in the eighth bag. Like make a Mylar like a Grove bag, and like a lot of people will buy a quarter of weed. They might smoke that the whole month, and that like matters. So I think like the again, that's why I like putting them in eighth bags and shit. Like instead of breaking it down, because like when I make one, it's like that's going to someone, and it's gonna like be like their thing.
Yeah.
You know, like that piece of pizza or the bacon, egg, and cheese, or you know.
I feel that.
I'm torn on the argument. I love the breakdown and I love the idea of the pounds too. You know.
Right. Yeah.
Something about the breakdown though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Man. Like
it's. Yeah, dude. Oh man, do people buy 10 bags ever? Is there a $10 bag?
we sell dimes.
Fire.
We sell dimes.
I want to buy a dime, dude. I hope it's good because I want to buy it. Is it in a little blue bag?
Hudson and Pure each
Hudson
got
and
dimes.
Pure,
Nah.
Yeah, it should be, but
It
it's
definitely
definitely
should be,
a little
man.
bag, something similar to it though. It's
With
close.
like little
It's a little
Batman
see-through.
symbols on it.
It's a little see-through bag.
That's what
The sour juice
I always
from
had the
Hudson
Nike
and then
symbols.
What's the pure? What's the pure?
Oreos.
Oreos.
Straight trademark infringement.
Purple punch.
Nike bags and Batman bags were my shit.
It's
Yeah.
not a pre-roll. Y'all sell
The
it.
Deuce
Flower.
Flower. It's a
Flower,
0.7. It's a 0.7.
It's a 0.7.
What would
yeah.
you do realistically if a good grower in the legal market came in and was like, "Yo, I want you to sell my bags like in a Ziploc," and I was like, who they were? Would you still sell
That's how I
it?
want my weed.
Yeah.
You know,
As long as it was like
Someone should
compliant,
do that.
As long as they had like all the compliant labels.
Or just make a Ziploc that's childproof.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Someone should do that.
Isn't that
Like
a
a clear
Mylar?
packaging, just like a clear bag.
I think you described the Mylar.
I'm getting extra
Just make
hot.
a clear one.
You know what would be the best marketing? Putting it in a Ziploc
Putting
bag.
it in a Ziploc bag.
Has anyone ever done that?
Call this podcast "Don't Steal This Podcast."
Trademarking it right off. I'm trademarking putting weed in a Ziploc bag right after the show. In the state of New York. I'd get killed for that. If I like pulled that off, I would. That'd be so against the culture. That'd be like Martin Shkreli buying the Wu-Tang album. It would be like someone like
buying the Wu-Tang
someone
album.
like me trademarking the Ziploc bag to put weed in it. That'd be public enemy number one. Oh man.
Scotty, what you got, kid?
I don't have any sneakers today. I came barefoot.
You don't have any sneakers.
No, I'm joking.
today.
I came correct. Pause.
Yeah, they are.
Earlier.
It's like a segment.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah, it's a segment. We do a sneaker segment. Scotty has called Scotty's Kick. Scotty has like the most. He has mad pairs of sneakers, but like the most Jordan 8s probably.
These is ugly as fuck, but ugly and dope. Like there's
and
good,
dope.
bad. There's things that are bad that are good. A lot of horror movies are bad but
But
good.
they're so bad they're good.
There's good, bad, and this is good, bad. And I didn't like the shoe till I seen it in person. I just came across it in the Nike outlet. I wouldn't have bought the shoe in a million years. I saw images of it. I'm like, that shoe's fucking stupid. Not stupid, but like I was like, that shit definitely ain't for me. And it's off-white blazer, low top. It doesn't even really look like a blazer. Like the sole's obviously a blazer and shit, but like, and the tongue. But besides that, you wouldn't be able to tell it's really a blazer. But yeah, the shit is interesting. A little something weird for the day.
Off-white.
Yeah, it's an off-white blazer, low top.
And you found
it's
that
got-
at an outlet, huh?
Yeah. It was like off-whites at the outlet, and when I seen them in person, I'm like, yo, I kind of fuck with these. They kind of look cool, so I got them. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, look like Woody from Toy Story, you know. Yeah, he did a bunch of weird shit with that one.
It looks like a bunch of shoes.
I mean,
put
you
together.
can tell it's a blazer if you take that heel off. Like, actually, there's people that have removed that and had it just as the low top blazer. So, oh yeah, I also got to bring up our coworker Erica be roasting the shit out of these shoes right here.
Have you've worn them in the store before?
Oh, a bunch.
A bunch.
I wear them
and
to
she
piss her off.
Yeah.
Yeah. She gets so triggered by these shoes. She thinks they're the dumbest thing she's ever seen in her fucking life.
Why?
Just the holes in them. But it's okay.
The fluorescence on
So
there?
these ain't functional.
Because her kicks ain't it.
No. She's coming in with Crocs on. She's coming in with Crocs on. That's probably not OCMC.
Nah.
Might be. Shout out Crocs.
Now the Crocs are doing numbers right now. I don't own any. I wouldn't own any personally, but my daughter loves them.
Dude, I got my godson the Lightning McQueen ones. I was the man.
Those had
coming
some
through
hype,
with
right?
those.
Like,
Yeah,
didn't-
yes.
Yeah. They sold out and like had resale value. No. I think that was one of those pairs.
I was I was the fucking man. I was like, no way. I bring you the dopest Legos. The dopest Star Wars Legos. And Cars is cool, though.
Cars is cool.
Cars
though.
is cool. That's a good one.
I just started Legos with my daughter, but she sits for like 4 minutes of it and
And then you
go.
finish it.
Yeah. And then she comes
Welcome
back
to
to
the
a
club,
fucking
kid.
to a pizza parlor or some shit.
Man,
Legos
I'm
rule.
building Legos.
That's what
and
it
shit
was
while
the
your-
other day. Like I
while your
started building
kids
all these little
fucking
restaurants.
playing
Like,
Roblox.
Yeah.
there's like a fried chicken spot and shit.
You're
Like,
in Lego World.
oh yeah.
Yeah, Legos are fire.
Oh shit.
I like
Oh,
the
yeah.
segments, man.
Congrats.
Oh, you got another one?
Jay, let's give Jay a congrats.
Yeah. Yes, appreciate you. Composition
Jay.
out now on all platforms.
Composition out now.
CALM position. Let's get it. Jason, LRX, lyrics, JAYSON. Go look me up everywhere. It's out.
Album out.
Finally.
Finally.
We doing it. You know what I'm saying? And we did it. We
Yeah.
did the thing. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna keep dropping more. Keep making new heat. You know what I mean?
Produced by mostly produced by yours
Yes,
truly on
that's
that shit.
true.
On the beats.
9 out of 10 of the
and
songs
that
on
shit
there.
is a classic.
Killed
so I
it.
just gotta
Word. Hell yeah.
this-
Nah, for
shout
sure.
out
Who,
to
this
this
dude
man
you
right here.
producing?
I can play the drums.
Oh no, you Merc.
I can play the drums,
Yeah,
bro.
Hell yeah.
it's
Nah,
fucking-
that was.
We
it's-
made a classic, kid. This shit is incredible.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Real shit.
Appreciate you.
This is that.
Concept album too.
Yeah, man.
Concept
the
album.
double EP. It's the ego and the self. And it's crazy because I'm really feeling that right now. Like, I'm really, really feeling like my ego has been what has been stopping me from putting it out. And I had to face it a lot to put it out. Every step of the way, there's these little roadblocks and all these little things and excuses to just not do it, or excuses to put it off, or tell myself I'm not ready. And if I sat in that, then I would have never been ready. So I appreciate y'all for pushing me.
Yeah,
real shit. I gotta say that.
bro.
I do gotta say that. And not even just y'all, but anybody who's watching this, just everyone who shows up for me and my music and shows me how big it is and how much of a blessing it is. This shit is great. Like, it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
when they tell you, just listen to them, bro.
I'm listening.
You know, the
I'm
self-doubt is just, everybody has that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
Word.
fucking imposter syndrome shit is a real thing, but
That's why I
You
made
gotta
this
listen
shit.
to what
That's why I
everybody
made
tells
this
you.
shit. And I'm at that point now where it's like I gotta live in it. Like, I put all the effort and the energy and the intention into making this project for that exact shit. And now I gotta live it and I gotta do it. I gotta walk with it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
this is it. It is what it is. Let's go.
fact.
I said, fuck writing. My freestyle so hot, this shit'll only strike once like lightning. I ain't even gotta put the pen to the paper, cause I just found out that these niggas been haters. Give a fuck like it's always hiding in disguise, but it's a fire in my gut, fire in my eyes. Burn any of these so-called rhymer guys with the lines. They don't want the drama, leave them traumatized. Ain't shit sweet, I live in the studio. They ain't got a bar, I won't eat like a Tootsie Roll. Try to turn my mic down, but you niggas never gonna be better than me. I don't give a fuck how my mic sound. Listen to the song, bitch. That's some fraud shit. Can't respect a young suburban nigga spitting hard shit. Crack every time I turn a phrase, that's a hard flip. Now my white boy's trying to smoke you like a bong rip. I try to tell him chill, but he wildin' cause he knows that I would kill you niggas even freestyling. And I'm just trying to rap. I ain't trying to get violent, but I know you niggas can't beat me. That's why I'm smiling. That's why I'm styling. I'm on the island. Cause all I see is the same flow surrounded. Got my head above water, watching y'all drowning. Buddha boys smoking hashtags by the pound spine. Fuck you niggas know about a cipher. I go off the top, probably make you pull an all-lighter. I can show you more bars than a lifer, more fire like you trying to hold a can of hairspray behind a lighter. Buddha. Yes. Good looking
Composition.
out. Yes.
Out now.
Go check
And that's
it out,
on that?
baby.
That verse is on that?
Nah.
Nah, he already
Exclusive.
Yo, that's just one for the pie, you know what I mean? For us. We got it. We're gonna keep it going. You gotta go listen to the album if you wanna listen to the album. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Word up. Yes. Hell yeah. Nah, that's a fact. Word. Let's get it. Thank you, man. I'm just like, it doesn't even feel real. And
That's
it's
crazy,
like I
man.
still gotta like,
I didn't even know you rap.
I gotta do it.
I didn't even know he rap, man.
Good looking out.
It's crazy.
But we gonna do it. We gonna push it, baby. We gonna push it.
You got any physicals? I got an 09 I drive, and I still listen to CDs.
You gotta drop the
Wow.
cassette, Jack.
That's gonna be the
exclusive.
exclusive.
That's for me.
You
should do it. We gonna
There
drop
might
the
even be
cassette
one
on
up
you.
here
There
somewhere.
might be
trade
one
you some
around
weed
here
for
somewhere.
physical.
There might be one in that
That's
drawer
we might
right
even
there,
be able to
bro.
make
No
one
What if we
funny
drop
shit.
the cassette on you?
Hell
I
yeah.
don't have a cassette player, but I'll make something. I'll figure it out. I can listen to it at like my house. I got a tape player at my house somewhere. You know.
My goal is to get the vinyls and have the ego on one side and the self on the other.
That's awesome.
Art piece in the crib.
Yeah.
Different colors, two-sided.
If that's possible, but either way, just
Tape
leave.
jack,
Right.
side A and side B.
Yeah, exactly. Same shit, yeah, with the tape too. Hell yeah. Classic. Because the cover is the composition notebook. So it's just a play on all that classic music, hip hop, 90s shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you had
'Cause
like
I'm
you
90s
had a
baby.
couple different flows on
Good
that.
looking. Now, oh, there's so many flows.
Yeah.
It's two different projects. Like the first one is like them hard hitting beats where I'm just rapping, trying to rap about how good I am at rapping and just fucking
The ego.
the ego. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
braggadocious, trying to get catchy. You know what I mean? Shit gets stuck in your head. And then the self, that's where it's more introspective, more organic beats, more singing, more emotion, more feeling,
Yeah.
more depth.
What's funny is like even you talking about it right now, you were like when you were talking about the ego one, you were like, you're like almost like talking about it like you're rapping, and then you started talking in depth about that. That's sick, bro.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that's what
fire.
it is.
It's
to
got
show
I bet it's good.
the juxtaposition, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So definitely, I'm looking forward to hearing how people receive it, and you know, what happens next.
I think what's happening is like this is really like living art. You know when they call stuff like living art, to where it's like in the past 33 episodes we put out, if somebody watched all episodes, they could see the battling in your head and the work you were doing leading up to this album. Some episodes you would be like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm getting this, and then the crew will get on you like, yo, when you gonna drop, and it's like every episode leading up to this, into for it to be out now, that's like that's living art, because it kind of symbolizes what you said with the ego getting. It's hard,
It's hard, bro. It's hard letting go and saying it's done, and then putting it out there, especially in a climate like today where it's like all these people telling you how you need to do it and how you should do it and what it is. But at the end of the day, like, if it's just sitting in your fucking hard drive and it's not out in the world, like, then nobody else even has an opportunity to do what they could do with it. So now that it's out there, now whatever the fuck we could fucking you could license that shit because it exists now. It's out there. Like, you could do all sorts of people will discover it based off of that shit.
No, for sure.
Now
it's out of my hands now.
Now it's
ready.
ready.
I mean, there's no more time for me to like be trying to perfect it, or it's not good
now
enough.
you just let people know it exists. Now it's on you to just let people know it exists. Here, go find. Now you just funnel
create
the people
more,
to that.
make more music videos for it, and make it a bigger piece of art. That's my plan for now. Yeah, exactly. And to a performance. You know what I mean? That's I've been performing the ego with the headstand. Like these are all different pieces that have been placed and that I've been building up on since I've made it. And like I even gotta say, like it wouldn't. It might have never came out if it wasn't for Harry, my boy. You know, like I always been doing it for him. I don't know if I don't think I ever told the story on the pod.
For a date came out, whatever you want to do.
Well, basically just my boy, he passed away when I was 17. It was my best friend, and that really shaped my life and shaped me as a person and how the trajectory of how my life played out. And my music specifically has always been my way to keep him alive and keep him with me and make something for his family and our family that we grew up with and we created with our friends, and it changed all of our lives. I know there's so many people that are dealing with a lot of that same type of like arrested development and grieving, and that's why I made the song Better With Time, because they said it gets better with time, but whoever said it was lying. So it's like it had to come out on his birthday, or else it wouldn't have came out. I wouldn't have did it for mine. You know what I mean? As many times I've said it for that date. I've said it for his date.
The number of years that you were like, I want to put this shit out on Harry's birthday, and we didn't put it out on Harry's birthday, and I'm like, all right, next year on Harry's birthday we're gonna put that shit out.
Because Merc knows, like, it gotta come out. Like everything I do with this music shit, it's I don't like I do it for me because I love music, but it's really like right now, you see that video that we made, I posted it on Facebook, and you see all the people who reshared it is all the people who I'm talking about right now. Even one of the comments, he was like, yo, we needed this because this is the same park that we used to run around in as little kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I do it for. I do it for that type of shit. And, that's it. That's it. Here we are. Buddha Buddha. Let's go.
Buddha Buddha. Composition. Out now.
Yeah.
So dope. I just got a quick this or that. I don't know if y'all got any more questions, but I wanted to just play this game, this or that.
I got one more question, actually, before we get into this or that. For me, do you know about 280E as like a tax thing?
Yeah.
How does that, from your license perspective, how does that affect you? Like, what's your cost of goods sold versus Like, what are you allowed to write off? What
Well,
type of
federally, we're not
expenses?
allowed to write off anything.
Anything. So you're in the same boat that we're in, because because growers are in a different boat. Like, cost of goods sold for them is like most of their shit.
And they're able to write it off.
Yeah, a lot of it.
I hate to say it, but it's like good for them.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It kind of sucks for us, but it's
Yeah,
like
so you're in the same boat that we're in.
Yeah, that usually doesn't happen for growers. I've actually never heard of that in any other state.
No, in vertically integrated things, you can actually write off a lot more of everything than you can when you're just retail. But I guess you're close enough to like your wholesale retail, but you're pretty much like close enough to the retail side that by the time their cost of goods sold is like the whole growing process is cost of goods sold. It's considered cost of goods sold. So but I guess that makes sense once
You
it
guys
gets
get
to
hit
you.
hard though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even with the state too.
just-
Like
Now the
it's
state
hard.
they're not 280. The state is like normal.
Okay.
Federal.
That doesn't always happen either.
I know.
So that's what's
yeah,
up.
Yeah. That's Hochul did that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm always willing to learn when it comes to that type of stuff and playing by the rules.
Yeah,
and doing the right thing.
It's just hard. It just makes it hard on the federal level to. You're just not a regular business. You're a cannabis business.
Yeah, they gouge you, dude. We just set
Not
up a
like
bank.
you can't write shit off like a regular business.
I have to
It's
pay the bank $400 just for me to use their
just to
bank.
have the account.
Yeah.
Who are you banking with?
Trustco.
Trustco. They reached out to us. We're with HVCU.
And I heard 400's good.
Yeah, 400.
I heard that's not bad.
No, it's
and
not bad.
I'm like,
Not
oh
bad.
man. You know, it's like, and that's just tax. That's not going to be around in a couple of years. No way am I paying that in a couple of years. That's just a way to just get my money because they think we're making millions of dollars. And the thing is like a lot of us are, not me.
Well,
They're coming in with bags of money.
On the banking side, they have a lot of compliance headaches that they have to deal with too. They get fucking audited, and it's like because it's not federally legal. So
Yeah.
when they're banking our money, they really have to keep fucking super crazy.
In California, I remember it was all cash. Armored trucks.
Yeah. I mean, even with us, it's like we do a very limited amount of debit because it's like a pain in the ass and it sucks. And
Yeah.
more expensive. It's cheaper for you to. It's a debit, so it's not a credit. So you can't use a credit card. You have to use a debit card, which is like a bank card, which is
Right.
like you might as well just go to the ATM because the ATM is cheaper than using the debit card service.
Yep.
That requires you to fucking round up and take change. It's like you know what I mean?
So it's like, what are you going to be, cash only? It's like, you have to have it.
But you
just
have to have
you
it.
have to have it,
Right.
yeah.
But ultimately, cash only. It's almost. You gotta just. I don't know. It's fucking.
Yeah, hey man, we're figuring it. We're all figuring it out, dude.
What they gotta do is just figure out how to make it like a normal fucking payment and like let people
Like
come
normal
and shop
business.
like normal
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
Let us pay taxes like a normal business, because all that would be fucking normal.
I'll give you my money.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
normal.
totally fucking. We're a legal business.
Yeah.
Just like treat us that way. It'd be awesome. Anyway,
Hopefully they
I'm
do
gonna
it in
get
a
off
couple
my
years.
soapbox. We could get into the this or that.
I have faith.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
I hope so. We're just getting killed now, but
Yeah.
this or that sounds exhilarating.
You choose this or that.
Okay,
So let's start off. Fonto or Grabba,
Fronto,
Phillies or Duchess,
Duchess,
sour or haze,
sour,
flowers or edible,
flowers,
chopped cheese or bacon, egg, and cheese,
bacon, egg, and cheese,
top ramen or cup noodles,
top ramen,
top ramen, New York or Cali,
New York.
New York,
Good answer.
last indoor outdoor.
That was tough. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. But like, I've been having a fucking blast, dude. I love it here. Yeah,
Facts. East Coast.
yeah.
Indoor outdoor.
Say it.
Indoor. That's hard.
And lastly, I have a question.
What? Sorry.
On a perfect day, maybe might be your birthday, might be on vacation. What's your ideal wake and bake? How you want that morning to go or that wake and bake to go?
Ooh, okay. I'm up early, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. Coffee immediately. Immediately with black. Good roast from a place. Peru, Mexico, Ecuador, and water as
I
well.
want that raw.
Dude, I do this every week. Pause, dude.
That is a big pause.
I do this every weekend, but and then I'm gonna fast until 11, and I'm gonna watch Sopranos and
Alright.
roll up Connecticut shade leaf of some headband, some 707 headband. I'll break it down for you. I try to get it done every weekend, and I don't eat until a little bit. Let's see, I don't eat first thing. I just eat breakfast as my first meal. That is key. Sometimes I eat it at noon, but technically, I'm not changing my name, dude.
Well, technically, breakfast is connected to lunch, and that's brunch. So it's
Fire, bro.
Absolutely. Great question. Thank you. I feel like I was there when I was explaining.
Yeah. This is fucking great.
That was fun, dude.
Great.
Thank you for having me on, man. That was a lot of fun.
Paulie is the man. Shout out for Paul. Everybody, big round of applause for Paulie. Pulling up with the breakfast connection, lunch. You know what I mean?
I gotta get you guys on my
Classic
podcast.
shit.
That's what we
Yeah,
said. We gotta
yeah.
get that crossover.
Basically, I'll just come in here with an
Crossover
iPhone. Have a couple donuts on the table. And then just literally do the same thing.
Yeah, it sounds good, man.
that'll be dope.
We'll make that happen.
Stage one on another podcast.
That'd be awesome. And then I gotta have all you guys on too.
yeah.
Literally all of it. That's
Swallow it.
that'd be so sick.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up.
Well, thank you guys for having me. That was a fucking
Yeah,
blast.
Fuck yeah.
Thank
Stage one
you.
podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Stoop to store, legacy to legal. You know how we do. Peace. Like and subscribe. Stage1dispensary.com.
Yeah, for real.
Yay.
I be on that OG, tell you about the OG, piling up the roaches, got me feeling rosy, higher than